How's it going? Welcome. BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto communities, Blue Crew, and all the communities out there. Guys, welcome to another DL Talk, Crypto Hangout, Crypto and Chill, whatever you want to call it. We're here to hang out with Blue Crew, the Green Giants, and the Ledger Citizens. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody, and thank you for the support to the channel. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. Let's jump into it. We got BTC still hovering around the 20K range or so here. Give me a second, you guys. All right. Who do we got in the chat jumping in? CIA time, yay. What's up, dude? What's up, Sniff? Rye guy in the house, how you doing? Appreciate you guys tuning in and appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. Thanks for jumping in on, we're always having a random release. Can't really know when to expect when we go live. Hans Loaded, what's up? Devin, Steve in the house, how you doing? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Always appreciate the support. So we have I'm gonna save a little bit of time, or not save time, but kind of kill some time talking about some prices and talking about what I think is valuable here to start off, because we do have some pretty good, a little bit of a deep dive that we're going to go over, and I would like for more Blue Crew and Green Giants to be tuned in by that time. So just letting you guys know what's up ahead here. So yeah, we have BTC around 26K. We have XRP around the 46 cent range. Excited to see what happens maybe tomorrow, on Tuesday, or during this week. We were on a good roll there to end last week with 4 different pieces of really good news for Ripple. We had the Hinman. We're awaiting Hinman updates, right? Those Hinman emails, updates. We had that verdict just last week. Not a verdict of what the case is, but the next step in the process there, we had Mataco acquisition for $250 million. That's not just chump change right there, you guys. That's some big money right there to for Ripple to increase its position here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me figure my life out here as we go along. We're walking around. We're in the streets. So continuing on, we had the Mataco acquisition, or Medico acquisition. We had the CBDC platform release, and now this or with the collaboration with the Monetary Authority of Hong Kong, right? So now we're getting some really good news here with Ripple and or possible connections here with Ripple. And once again, it's possible connections. It's no guaranteed, but I'll try to back it up how this can be connected. So we have the Bank of Korea now announcing a collaboration here. So I guess we're jumping the price thing and just going into it here, you guys. So we have the Bank of Korea in collaboration with Samsung, working on making offline payments possible using CBDC technology. Let me read you the actual statement here, you guys. In collaboration with Bank of Korea, Samsung is exploring the implementation of offline CBDC technology in its smartphones and smartwatches that would allow someone to make a payment even when they had no internet connection. What is a DLT-based company that you guys can think of that maybe even a few years ago or a handful of years ago was talking about, being able to just make payments with no friction and being able to make offline payments possible, right? And now we're seeing Bank of Korea and Samsung in this collaboration to implement and put it into smartphones, put it into smart tablets or smart watches, smart everything, right? We're already seeing with the growth of ChatGPT and AI automated stuff, AI generative stuff, right? The growth of that and how that's sprouting. Internet of Value is going to be around the corner. It's going to be very, you're going to be able to tell your AI, hey, send a payment to this person, does it, right? It'll have voice recognition. A lot of people will be sharing their biometric data. Sounds crazy, but you know, that's how it's all progressing. We're not stopping it anytime soon. We just keep adopting this stuff as it goes along. It makes our lives a little bit easier, right? But also does draw our attention into it maybe a little too much. But continuing on, so working on offline payments, and you know, key word there is the payment aspect, right? Ripple, first company to want to make payments, the friction of payments easier, or you know, less friction in payments, right? We live in a fragmented, you know, payment system where all these payment providers are silos, basically. Hell, even these blockchains are silos, right? So connecting them, being able to make payments easier. Interoperability. Now, interoperability is a key word when you're investing in crypto nowadays, right? Here, give me a second, you guys. So it is a key word now to have interoperability, whereas before, you know, back in 2016, 2017, that wasn't necessarily too important. But now it seems like it is, right? So now we're hearing Bank of Korea talking about offline payments and collaborating with using CBDC technology, you guys. You see how they start transforming the terms, or how they're trying to make us adopt their terminology, saying CBDC technology, saying DLT technology, saying digital assets, right? They don't want to have it, you know, they want us to move on from calling it blockchain and crypto. They want us to start moving into calling it CBDC technology, you know, the Ripple net, start adopting new terms of this digital as we move forward in this digital transformation, right? Went from email to all of a sudden text messaging being the thing, right? And now voice and video calling being the progression there for communication. And then, of course, social media and so many other things. So we start continuing going down the rabbit hole with Bank of Korea, another being key term mentioned in this collaboration with Samsung. Ripple actually has some of the top Korean banks as part of RippleNet, right? And Ripple, if you look, I actually posted this thread on my Twitter if you guys want to check it out. But Ripple's been very heavily focused with Korea for a very, very long time, right? And I don't know if you guys remember when Brad Garlinghouse went there to visit for an interview and called XRP a global currency. And fittingly, it was in Korea. And then also, Korea trades XRP, loves, or well, I don't know what the current state of regulation is with XRP or whatnot. But apparently, Korean regulators are keeping close eye on the SEC Ripple outcome here, because it's definitely going to have an effect of how they do business with Ripple. And, you know, because remember, on the exchanges, top Korean exchanges had XRP listed trading above Bitcoin. We talked about that just last week, right? You know who has the best Korean banks? Korea, right? Right. What's up, Saturday morning crypto hangover? Appreciate you tuning in. Smash those likes. You guys are awesome. We're going to end up being herded like sheep. I mean, you know, it's they have these things planned well in advance, that's for sure. But yeah, just the tremendous amount of rhythm here building, and you know, just something else that's like under the surface where it says Ripple without having to necessarily say it, right? They're talking about making a payment, offline payment, digital payment, CBDC type of payment, CBDC technology, Bank of Korea, a bank wanting to make a payment, right? All these are key words to keep an eye out for when you're, I mean, I would keep an eye out for when you're looking at these pieces of news. And, you know, obviously you don't want to overstretch yourself. There's going to be other DLT technologies here, but we're seeing that Ripple is already, and, you know, once again, in the Stellar camp, we can talk positively with Stellar about it too. They have their involvement with Korea. IBM has major involvement with Korea, right? So that's good news for XLM. You know, the fact that this technology is starting to be embedded, you know, this is also a response and could possibly be bullish for Solana, because Solana started introducing their phone, right? Even though it's in its early phases, that already got Samsung wanting to, you know, start working with the Bank of Korea to create this, you know, being able to make offline payments on your smartphones and smartwatches. So that could also be a response to what Solana's been doing. But, you know, seeing a bank implementing CBDC technology into smartphones, we're getting closer and closer to that internet of value. Looks like it's still a ways away though as well, right? It looks like this is a journey, a transformational decade, if you will. And sure, we can see some bull cycles that happen along the way. But it might mean we have more bull cycles and more bear cycles to go. So just keeping that in mind as well. Appreciate you Saturday morning for doing that. Legendary in the house. What's up, Legendary? Good to see you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so let me see what else do we got. So yeah, basically that's the biggest piece of news that I want to be going over here with you guys is the collaboration with the Bank of Korea. Samsung is exploring the implementation of offline CBDC technology into its smartphone and smartwatches that would allow for someone to make a payment even when they had no interest, right, in the connection, or had no internet connection, right? So we've heard about Ripple talking about offline payments before. We've heard about other crypto companies, you know, Hashgraph and Stellar and, you know, others that have talked about offline payments. So that kind of narrows down the gap for, you know, the ones that are eligible for CBDCs, or, you know, trying to work with CBDCs and create minting stable coins and whatnot, right? Like, it already kind of narrows down the number of cryptos that are even, you know, possible for that, or have at least even mentioned something like that before, right? To see which one of these DLT technologies are going to be like the few chosen, right? It gives you a good indicator, in my opinion, of trying to figure out which ones are those ones that are going to have like global adoption and be really involved with big money and institutions, right? Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for cryptos that check as many boxes as possible. And usually, you know, a lot of the boxes are, is it ISO 20022 compliant, regulatory friendly, CBDC friendly, stablecoin friendly, right? Bat Boy blockchain. Okay, Bat Boy. What's up, Alan? Good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in. I think I found a place where I could sit for a little bit here. So then, you know, once again, the key words: payment, offline, Bank of Korea. I haven't done the dive yet on possible connections with Ripple and Samsung, but I'm thinking that there's not, you know, not too much, but there's definitely a good amount of connections there with Bank of Korea here. Because RippleNet already has two of the top, like, 5 Korean banks, part of SBI Ripple Asia, right, using ODL. Ripple has been talking about that. It's very important. It's key that Korea has regulations. And then even Korean regulators admitting that they are watching. What the heck is this? Even Korea regulators are admitting that they are watching for the outcome of this Ripple and SEC case. So all eyes are really on this Ripple and SEC case from, you know, the partners that have NDAs with Ripple, the banks that are, you know, interested in maybe reaching out to Ripple in the future, payment providers, other business opportunities within the U.S., outside of the U.S., with regulatory clarity, and a Ripple win here can really mean some big things. Alex E saying making pickups and listening. Samsung's hooked up with data, but I've also heard about Samsung with VeChain, right? And Ultra, and you know, some of these. I'm not sure Solana. I don't think Solana is at all connected with them, but I feel like saying AVAX or something, or maybe Decentraland is what I'm thinking of. But yeah, Samsung's definitely a major opportunity there to have some connections with. So yeah, maybe that's another way to narrow the window, is finding out these cryptos that have been mentioned or connected with Samsung. Was Tron? I think I'm thinking about Tron, but Tron kind of seems dead. What do you guys think? Is there just a lot of FUD on Tron right now? Because Tron technically is still doing better than, you know, I've come to know Tron as like the 2-cent crypto. It's just always was and always will be 2 cents. And then it had a major run in 2017 and 18, went up to 30 cents, and then bam, right back down to around this range. And it's at 6 cents and has just been holding there for a long time, which is technically a 3x from that low. But yeah, just don't know really what's going down here with Tron. I connected with Tron on Tinder. Alex, they unmatched me though. That's funny. Alex, I didn't get a notification and boardroom was going on, and I just want to know if you knew. Okay. Oh yeah, shout out to the XRP boardroom. Shout out to Alex D Vlog. Shout out to Berserker. Shout out to you know, the bagman himself, man. Shout out to XRP Bags. Shout out to Crypto Tales. Shout out to all the usual suspects. All the blue crew and green giants in here. So yeah, Ripple has been, you know, talking about being involved with Korea for quite some time, going back to about 2016 as far as I was able to go here with trying to find any connection with Korea and Ripple. And then it looks like that's been, you know, growing, right? And you got payment providers from Korea that are partnered with Ripple as well. So they've been setting that infrastructure in that area, and seeing Bank of Korea, you know, using CBDC technology, right? So that's the thing. It's implementing their CBDC technology. So it's the bank's technology into the Samsung phones, right? So I don't know if it's, because then they would have said Samsung's blockchain technology, right? But they said, you know, Bank of Korea. Let me see what exactly, let's read it one more time, because this is stuff to look into here, you guys. In collaboration with Bank of Korea, Samsung is exploring the implementation of offline CBDC technology into its smartphones and smartwatches that would allow for someone to make a payment even when they had no internet connection. So they're saying a collaboration, so it could be between them two. So is there a CBDC technology? It's been working as a blockchain with Samsung. Polygon, maybe. I forgot Polygon was possible. Another possible. You know, but seeing it's saying CBDC technology. So these have to be cryptos that have been focused on, you know, working with CBDCs, right? Because they would have to be good with CBDC first in order to start implementing it into even calling it a technology, right? To labeling it itself its own technology and putting it into smartphones. And why are we thinking so deeply about this, guys? Because this is what the Internet of Value is shaping up to be like in the future, is the blockchain technology or distributed ledger technology being part of our, you know, phones in the future. Phones are going to continue to upgrade. We're going to probably have different phones than we have now, you know, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, right? And we'll probably see, you know, the next step or evolution into our interaction. You know, think about like where we've come from since the like late 90s and early 2000s to now with our cell phones and how we interact with it. Just imagine what's going to happen, you know, 8 years from now, 10 years from now, and how we're, you know, I know there's a dirty joke somewhere in there. Saturday Morning Crypto probably has it in his head right now, but yeah, it's just going to continue to grow, and our adoption of this technology and our involvement with it will just continue to grow. It's just very entertaining for people, and a lot of people, it's so useful, so entertaining. It seems to make life much easier. There's definitely other side effects that are hassles that come with this. All these, looking into even the statement, planning for offline payments. What does that mean? Is internet going to be more expensive in the future? Is it going to be less consistent in the future? Is it because there's going to be so many people using the internet that it makes it, kind of overload, if you will. We got Uncle Buster in the chat. What's up, Coffee Time Crypto, or Crypto Coffee? Crypto and Coffee. What's up, Uncle Buster? Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good to see you. We got a legend in the chat. Oh, you guys doing boardroom tonight? I might be able to jump in. We'll see. But yeah, anyways. So once again, Bank of Korea collaborating with Samsung on CBDC tech, or using CBDC technology and putting it into smartphones, smartwatches, right? Sure, their tablets. I'm just sure, Samsung, everything, right? Samsung fully accepting and open to blockchain technology clearly, and now implementing having this collaboration with Bank of Korea for CBDC technology, and this could be a ripple effect, if you will, of seeing other banks, maybe possibly Bank of America, working with, whatever, their partner service provider, or internet service provider is, whether it's a Spectrum. I'm not sure which one it is though, but I'm just speculating, like maybe keeping an eye out for the next big bank that collaborates with a payment provider like this, or internet provider like this, or cell phone provider, whatever you want to call it, right? The mobile provider. That's going to probably see, just the continuing integration of your cell phone, or smartwatch, or what have you. Your wallet is now taking completely, is slowly evolving into digital shape here, right? And the banks being able to back it up, right? Banks are seeing the rise of SoFi and all these alternative, Chime, and all these other alternative type of payment platforms here. So it makes topic of today. I mean, we've said it about 6 or 7 times already, but yeah, Bank of Korea collaborating with Samsung on CBDC technology. Ripple has been, very much involved with the Korean culture. We've heard Brad Garlinghouse talking about, XRP being global currency when he was in Korea once. Top 2 or top Korean banks being involved in SBI Ripple Asia, right, using ODL. So just the continued growth here, but seeing that it's being implemented and reaching into our phones now and smartwatches, more adoption of this technology. They call it CBDC technology, but once again, like we said earlier, they're transforming your perspective into learning new terms, and stop to kind of eventually maybe stop calling it blockchain technology, or to stop calling it crypto, right? They have us calling it digital assets, distributed ledger technology, DLT, CBDC technology now, right? Digital currencies, what have you. But they're creating their own terminology here now and starting to call it CBDC technology. And it looks like they've already chosen one, right? If Bank of Korea is this confident now, where they're starting to collaborate with these, internet providers, right? This is how you're creating the internet of value, right? Talking about offline as well as online payments. The real internet of value, right? What's up, Saturday? We're so damn close. Those last 4 days, the last week, the Medico acquisition, and now the release of the CBDC platform. And isn't that funny?
that we get this news about Bank of Korea talking about CBDC technology just days after Ripple releasing their CBDC platform. Maybe the banks already are just building their positions. And once, we believed from day one of this Ripple and SEC lawsuit that it was a show. We never got emotionally invested into all the ins and outs and details of this Ripple SEC lawsuit, because we feel that the outcome, Brad Garlinghouse has already told us, it's going to be a shocking outcome. Ripple will be on the right side of history, and they're going to win, right? So if that's the case, then we're just, and they're the ones who've been working with central banks and wanted to be regulatory friendly for day one. Right? They had former SEC members on board, right, before the case even happened. So they knew they were going to have to deal with SEC eventually. They dealt with all the other global regulators around the world first, and are still building, regulatory rails with some of these other countries, right? Like I mentioned earlier, Korea, keeping a close eye on what's going to be the outcome here for the Ripple and SEC lawsuit, because Korea loves XRP. The major trading exchanges in Korea have XRP, going past Bitcoin in trading volume, guys. So all this is still a show that's unfolding. When it's going to end, is going to be when it does. But the infrastructure and I don't try to, that I feel like it will be just such an instant transition from just mass adoption of digital assets, and it just being a massive just flood of money that comes into the market one day. But that's like the moon boy in me, right? So realistically, could see it dragging out, and then yes, we get a little bit of a bullish cycle for XRP, but then we still start experiencing the same damn type of volatility, and maybe other cryptos in the market really just start to, try to stop XRP's party by crashing, right? Like all these fake and scam cryptos, maybe their last resort is well, if we can't succeed, neither can you, and they try to take down XRP by just crashing the market again, and then maybe hoping that people lose interest in XRP again, and some people will, right? And then that's maybe when we see the phoenix rise from the ashes. Who knows how it'll all end and turn. It's been such a struggle being an XRP holder and holding for this long. I wish I was a newcomer to XRP, but maybe I wouldn't have this strong of a resolve to hold for higher prices if I was a newcomer. Yeah, exactly. G's got a bad signal. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Has it been going in and out? So digital dollar will be distributed and be used in conjunction with paper dollar. Interesting. Well, see, that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. If we have a release of a CBDC, is it going to be? Are they going to release new cash bills and have a window of time, maybe for a couple of years, where they're accepting old cash, right, and exchanging it for this new cash or something like that? I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out how they can still keep track. Maybe their only option is just to make the payment experience so easy, make it easier than even handing cash to another person, right? I mean, they already try to get us super afraid of interacting with each other physically, right? They're traumatizing us with 2020 from getting us, maybe even, going the other direction, getting some to crave physical interaction even more so since 2020. What's up, Bone Step? Good to catch you here. Full of XRP in the chat. It's all good. It cuts a bit. Okay, right on. Wait, FedNow updated to June 1st and not July? So they accelerated their adoption for ISO 20022? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's still a major event to happen over the summer, right? And who knows how this, how long this Ripple and SEC lawsuit's going to take. It's funny that we're getting close to the end of the single-digit amount of months that Brad Garlinghouse predicted that the SEC running out of single-digit months. And, you know, we have ISO 20022 adoption increasing, CBDC technology now being increasing, whatever that is, which we believe to be DLT technology. So that adoption increasing, all a bear cycle and getting people to second guess every single thing and maybe invest. As long as they keep getting you to invest a little bit less money than you usually would, I think they're considering an overall win. And, you know, they know there's some people that they're just going to have to take the L on, but ultimately they'll still have, you know, at least the majority of it, and that's what G. You know, well, I don't know if true decentralization could be achieved at scale. I don't know if it can. It's something to aspire to, just like perfection, right? I mean, when you're playing with the laws of supply and demand, and it's a finite amount of something, some things are going to give. There's going to be some majority holders, right? I asked ChatGPT what it would take to launch a CBDC in the US, and here's what it said: public awareness and education. CBDC require a buy-in from businesses. I mean, in order for the IMF to, we remember this statement, the IMF, in order for the IMF to add XRP to its, you know, its basket of currencies, is for a country to, declare XRP as legal tender. And I think there is that has declared XRP as legal tender. That announcement of IMF including XRP to its basket of currencies could be something that does happen soon after the Ripple SEC lawsuit, right? Yep, June's 1st. Lots happening in June. Okay, let's go. Do you guys agree that maybe it's sell in May and walk away in the crypto space? Are we due for a very bloody summer in the crypto space? What do you guys think? Yeah, that's the crazy thing too. It's like the Medico deal wasn't like their last move. It's just, you know, hey, we have $250 million we feel we can make a good investment in with. Sure, you know, we may lose it, but that's part, you know, I think they think, you know, they have some confidence in this investment for sure. Decentralization will just continue to chew on centralization over time. Yeah, exactly, over time. But who knows what technologies will eventually be developed by then? Could it still be XRP by then? I could see XRP being, I mean, if it does become something that takes over the quadrillions of dollars of market, then yeah, it's the new currency and it's going to be around for, you know, many generations, you know, possibly close to 100 years, right? Yeah, well, but who knows? Maybe some other technologies come along the way. You know, we call BTC the AOL of this this current cryptocurrency phase of the market, right? But who's to say maybe Ripple isn't the AOL, right? And I'm not saying that means BTC's better. No, that means BTC's worse. If Ripple is the AOL, you know, you can make money off AOL if you were an early investor at the time, right? Same thing with Yahoo, right? Ask.com or Ask Jeeves. If you were in at the right time, you could have made life-changing money, right, with some of those websites or, you know, search engines, right? So what if Ripple eventually just, like, you know, ends up getting bought out by IBM or gets, you know, transforms into something else, or, you know, something else ends up taking over as well? But I think that will probably be maybe past our lifetime, maybe. Hopefully if things work out the right way. Yeah, I'm still gonna hodl for sure. I mean, last May, it could have been a... No, for sure 2 Mays ago, it was a really good idea. I'm not sure, I would have to check with last May. Yeah, they were all long-term hodls as well. That's funny. You think that would have been funny if people were using the word hodl back in the day in the internet.com era. They're just like, you just got to keep hodling on. But anyways, guys, so yeah, I just wanted to go over that with you. Bank of Korea collaborating with Samsung on offline payments using CBDC technology, implementing it into their smartphones and smartwatches. You know, I think this is a really good big step forward for, you know, just the progression towards the Internet of Value, that vision of the Internet of Value, and seeing what that is like, and, you know, less friction in payments. And offline is a big hurdle. That is a big friction in digital payments for sure, right? So, and, you know, hell, physical payments, it's a big hurdle because it takes days, right? It takes days to send something like that, send something of value, right? So if we can start getting it physically and digitally within seconds or instants, maybe, you know, 3D printers get very advanced where they literally print your object to you or something like that you're buying. I would have a hard time finding out how they do that with like collectibles that, you know, there's a finite amount of. But 15 TPS, well, now it's up to 2000 TPS. And if you look into Interledger Protocol could actually scale the XRP ledger, or the, you know, level of payments, since they're doing micro payments, to over 1 million TPS. 1 million TPS using Tiger Beetle. I would do some research on that, because it looks like there's potential for XRPL's transaction volume, or per second, to continue growing, right? That it is upgradable and continues to upgrade and evolve. You know, so if you think 1500 TPS is, you know, kind of slow, I mean, look at the TPS for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and XRP has been around longer, you know, not longer, just as long, if not obviously longer than Ethereum, and is the first decentralized exchange ever created. So the first DEX, the first true DEX ever created with 1500 TPS at the time, back in 2004 or 2012, right? That's pretty damn good from former Bitcoin developers too. So if you're a big Bitcoin maxi or you know, fan of Bitcoin, and you're a really big fan and like a faithful fan, then you've done your research on who are the early Bitcoin developers, and are maybe such a big fan of those early developers that you might want to like expose yourself to projects that they exposed themselves to, since they were such geniuses to be involved with Bitcoin at such an early phase. They probably have a better idea of this DLT stuff and blockchain technology stuff than we do. I remember David Schwartz a while ago saying that XRP is going to be able to upgrade and scale as it grows. I mean, you want something that's scalable, right? If it's scalable, that means that, you know, the community, especially when it's like an open source project, right? You need scalability and upgrades. I like seeing that it can get faster. I like seeing the potential of what it could achieve with Interledger Protocol and Tiger Beetle, right? Because we're talking about data and value being intertwined. Data can be sent in microseconds. We need value to be sent in microseconds, and especially for where, you know, this Internet of Value is going. Micropayments are going to be massive. They're going to be flowing everywhere. Yeah, figuring out the micropayments thing is key, and that's another thing that Ripple was very forward looking on as well. Hopefully I'm not pissing off all the other crypto maxis out there. I do like all these other crypto, you know, once again, I hope everybody makes money in this crypto space. I'm just having a hard time ignoring seeing what Ripple is doing, and seeing what XRPL is doing, XRP, XLM, Stellar, XDC, Tezos. You know, Tezos is also upgradable as well. Pretty good transactions as well. Very community driven. Really liking Tezos. You know, we'll see what ends up being like the big winners though, you know. But hopefully we have enough bull cycles here where we all win, because we did all win in that last bull cycle, and hopefully we can all win again. Whatever happened to Cobalt? I think Cobalt is now, Tiger Beetle or part of the Interledger protocol or part of Hooks. One of those. I think Cobalt has transformed. How are they actually measuring paint? I think we talked about Cobalt. Like Stefan Thomas brought up something about Cobalt, and I think it's part of Project DASI now, which is introducing using cryptocurrency for settlement on Interledger, and that's using XRP first. And it's not to say that they didn't allow for XRP to be settled on Interledger before, but now they have this. It's meant for developers to be able to use cryptocurrency as settlement, right? They had something like Rafiki, which allowed for institutional settlement. Got to dive a little bit more into that though. How are they actually measuring payments though? Because one XRP is like 1,000 drops. Isn't one XRP 1,000,000 drops? Right? Isn't it like many zeros? So how are they actually measuring the payments? It's a good point, Alan. I mean, what exchanges can you trust? And which ones aren't manipulating those trading volumes, right? There's no regulatory clarity in crypto here. We're finding out dark truths about a lot of these platforms. Celsius, Luna, STX, or SPX, or FTX, sorry. But that's a good point. It'd be interesting to see how they're actually measuring the XRP transactions. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another DL Talk Crypto Hangout. Always good hanging out with you guys, and I'm always grateful. Thank you. BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto communities, Blue Crew, and all the communities out there. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Keep it crypto. Adios.